name is Ben Keys, and I'm just making this video to show you how to put DNS on your system. Now, whether that may be on your device, your simple device, like for example, this Windows 11 computer, which I'm going to use as an example. It's the most complicated Windows. The least complicated are your Mac and your iPhone, those sort of things. Literally with the Mac and the iPhone, you go into internet settings and you change DNS from automatic into manual, and then you put our DNS settings in. Okay, now I'll just put up on this video, I'll just quickly show you the DNS settings for Southcoms Limited. Okay, so we go to the website. The DNS settings are here. Okay, right here. Okay, home and entertainment 7977188853, 7977188855, or business 7977188852, and 9227911137. Right. So those are the settings, and we're going to have a look at the internet settings on this device first of all. So you go into your general Windows settings, which are located here. You click on the Windows button, go to the cog, open it. You know, I've got that separate on my computer, but that's where you go. You open that up, okay, and you bring that full page up. You go into network and internet, okay. You go there, and first thing you do is you want to look at your adapters. So you go into advanced network settings. So those of you who've got Windows 10, you go into your adapter settings. You change your adapter settings. So on Windows 11, first of all, you go into advanced network settings. You click on that one, and then you go into more network adapters. Okay, so you want to change your network adapters for anyone using Windows. Okay, now click on that. New window comes up. You've got your Wi-Fi interface there. Okay, so I go onto that. I change properties, right? And you go down here. Quite simply, on Internet Protocol version 4, okay, we use Internet Protocol version 4. IPv6 we don't use for our DNS. Okay, you can put IPv6 DNS settings in. We don't. Okay, so these Windows computers come with IPv6 as well as IPv4. Right, we are just changing the IPv4 settings, Internet Protocol version 4 settings. Okay, so you left click on that once, and then you go into properties. Okay, and those are your settings. Okay, so literally you just change the settings here quite simply. Change the settings there. Very simply, putting the business DNS in there, and you can just validate the settings once you've done that. Okay, so you just go there, validate settings, close that, and then this next screen comes up, which is just validating your settings. Okay, and that means it's all fine. If it looks like that, it's fine. You haven't got a problem. Right, so that's how to change it on your device. Remember, iPhones and Apple Macs, their settings are much easier. You literally just go into internet settings, you change DNS at the bottom of the list. There's DNS, you change DNS from automatic into manual, and you put the settings into the manual boxes provided. A bit similar to that. Right, now the next thing to do is to go into a router. So we're going to show you basically a business router, which again is the most complicated thing you can possibly get. The easiest thing you can get is just an ordinary talk router, whatever system, whatever network you're with, EE, whatever. And those routers, you'll log in through your gateway address like that, same as I'm doing for this. Only difference is you will, the only difference is you will have to find the DNS settings. Now they should be down on they should be on the under internet settings, same as the iPhone, same as the Mac. Okay, so you go into internet settings and you literally just put the details in there. Okay, so give me a second. I'm just going to pause this for 1 minute. Give me a second here. So, okay, so yeah, I just got into my router there, so I didn't remember the password. Right, so now the settings are simple here, okay, comparatively, because they're all on the LAN, they're all on the local area network, okay, but on your standard routers, okay, they're even more simple. So you just go to internet settings, like on the iPhone or the Mac, you go to internet settings, you go down to the bottom of the page of internet settings, and there it says automatic DNS already set up. Just change it from automatic to manual, which is simple because if you want to take the DNS off, you simply put it back to automatic once you've got into those settings. Okay. Now, just a bit about this. Before you go into your router, it's my advice to test it on your device first. It's my advice. It's our advice at Satcom's is you try it on a single device first. Try it on your iPhone or your Android or your computer, your Mac, whatever. Try it out on it for a few days, and if you like the DNS, if you like the security, you like the speeds, and you like whatever else you may be getting from our DNS that pleases you, okay, continue using it on your device, obviously, but you can also go to the next stage of putting it on your router. And I've set my router up in a particular way. I've got my business in my flat at the moment, okay, and now for the time being, while I run my business from my flat, I want to have 2 different local area networks, okay? Now, the way I've set that up, okay, I'll show you. You go to LAN and you go into virtual LAN. Now, on VLAN, okay, you set up 2 different systems, right? Okay. Now, what I've set here is I've got LAN 1 and LAN 3, LAN 3 and LAN 1, right? Now, my LAN 3 is my wireless network. So I've got my SSID 2. Okay, so I've got 2 alternative wireless networks. And I set up the SSID 2 as my LAN 3, right? Now, I'll show you what these are in a minute, what these local area networks are in a minute. So don't panic. But you have to go into your VLAN first to set up your local area networks. Okay, if you just want one LAN, you don't need to set anything up. If you want 2 or more, you have to go into your VLAN, your virtual local area network, set it up how you want it, right? So that does my servers. So I've got my servers in the fact, my virtual machines, they're all coming from different ports. Again, that's all set up as should be. But with this one, we've got a separate system enabled for an area that I want to use the DNS in this situation. I'm not actually logged into it on this one. I'm logged into LAM1 on the Wi-Fi for LAM1, which is SSID1 here, and also my servers. The reason I have my servers on a system that doesn't have DNS on it is simply because I'll show you how it looks. You can put your gateway to your local area network as one of your DNS addresses, and that provides a standard DNS that comes with your internet service provider, your ISP. Okay, so you can have that as standard. At the same time, I can put in 2 on top of the subsidiary to that. I put the second and third in as my business DNS or whatever it is I want to use on my servers, right? So I do that. I set that up separately on the machine, so it's permanently fixed, so that it always has access to the internet through the ISP provider. Okay, that's quite simple. It's an oversight just to make sure that it's put in place just to make sure that basically if something went wrong with my DNS or my DNS didn't configure to my own system correctly, I would have that as a backup. So the internet would always travel to my system. It would never be blocked. Okay, so just be aware of that. That's for businesses. It's a fail-safe. You can put it in place just to make sure everything is 100% safe. Right now, so we go to the general settings. Now these are the 2 LANs that we set up. Okay, so we've enabled the LAN1 and LAN2. Okay, so I'll show you first of all where I put the DNS in. So you go to LAN2. Okay, now we got these settings. So your start IP address starts 192.168.3.10. Okay, that's your that's start IP address where there's a gateway is 192.168.3.1. You see here the gateway address. Okay, and in there I put my home and entertainment DNS. Right? See how I've done that? Right? Underneath that, very simple. You can leave it as a standard. You can leave them blank, I think, on these routers, and it just puts in the standard DNS that comes in from your internet service provider. But that is quite simply how you do that. Okay, right, and that goes onto the wireless network. So it's a DHCP server configuration, right, which means that dynamic IP addresses are given out to my device, to my iPhone, to my computer, to my Android, to whatever else I'm watching, the television, anything else, my Google Chrome, whatever it may be, you know, Chromecast. So that's literally how the system works. Okay, right. Now on the other one, which is the system that provides the internet service provider details. Okay, that's 1.1, 192.168.1.1. Okay, that's the one that's standard, and that has the basic DNS in there. Okay, the internet service provider provided DNS. Okay, and again, you've got the start IP address, and I do have that on Wi-Fi, like I've shown you on the VLAN. I've got two sections on Wi-Fi, and then finally you have to go in and configure your wireless LAN. So on these routers, you go down here and you go into security. Security. First of all, you go into general setup and you select your two settings. So you have 1 and 2. I've got my two systems here. Okay, you've enabled the second one. You give it its own SSID. It's very important security factor there. You always change the SSID, the internet ID, and you go into security. Okay, and you can put in your passwords for both of them. So you go into SSID1, that's the password there. The SSID2, you do your passwords. Right, when they're both enabled with the right encryption and the right setup, how you want it, okay, you then go back to your LAN, you make sure that's connected, okay, and then you're ready to go. Okay, you set up your system. Okay, you've got your two LANs. Okay, one with DNS, one without. That's important for anything. If you have a pub or a shop, you've got the DNS for your business concerns. You don't necessarily want to provide that DNS free of charge to all your clients, even though you may be using the same IP address. You give them a different local area network and a different SSID with a different password. That is simply how you set that up. So I've shown you that for free for you guys who want to set up your networks at your shop or at your business or a cafe or wherever it is. That I just think helps with a general understanding of networking and how things can work well for you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to come and ask me on our hotlines that we've enabled here, that we put here on the website, or contact us. Okay, I like Telegram. I like using Telegram. It's very easy. You just put @SATCOMS in, you can contact me. Alternatively, there's WhatsApp, WhatsApp DNS hotline, and an email address for you to contact us directly. So there's no excuse for not getting in touch if you need to. Please feel free to drop us a line anytime, giving us feedback or to asking for help, whatever it may be, and we'll be here to help you out anytime you need. Okay, thanks for listening, and see you in the next video. Please carry on to the next video. There's plenty more to talk about. Okay, cheers. Bye.